My name is Aji, and it's looking like the end of Season X is finally here. After a lot of build-up in anticipation for it, I think it's fair to say that this 10th season of Fortnite has been underwhelming for a lot of players, with a lot of people saying that it's the worst season yet. So in today's video, we're going to be looking at Season X as a whole, talking about the best parts of it and the worst parts, before comparing it with Fortnite's worst seasons, to decide whether this season has truly been the worst season of Fortnite yet. So let's start with the positives. And yes, there are a few. Firstly, I'd have to say that creative mode has been one of the shining lights of Season X. Although the base Battle Royale experience has been disappointing, creative has been a source of huge entertainment for a lot of players. People have been playing 1v1s, Turtle Wars, Zone Wars, and then the mini BRs, which were a lot of fun. So even if you weren't enjoying the normal playlists, there were always a lot of fun games to be played in creative. And then going back to the core modes, there were some decent changes to the loot pool made in Season 10. We saw the vaulting of the combat and drum shotguns, which made close range fights feel more skill based and satisfying. And then you have the shield spawn rate, which has been a lot better than in previous seasons, where you could loot entire towns and come out without any shield at all. So it was definitely a welcomed aspect of Season 10. Epic also gave us some really cool crossovers, with Borderlands and Batman crossovers proving to be unexpected but ultimately massive successes with the community. However, unfortunately, that's near enough for all the positives mentioned. As I'm sure you're all aware, the poster boy for the failure of Season X has undoubtedly been the brutes, which have plagued this season. These are without doubt the single most frustrating things we've seen in Fortnite ever. Even worse than the planes, zombies, and the Infinity Blade. They were the most unskillful addition we've ever seen in Fortnite, which allowed the best players out there to be completely destroyed by bad players with little effort, purely because they had a brute. And the worst part about this is that Epic introduced them precisely for this reason, with them saying that it helped bad players get kills, which I've already covered in a previous video. So I don't want to rant on about the brutes too much, as we all know exactly how bad they were. And then we get to the state of the map. Now, although I was never a believer in this, a lot were expecting a new map in Season 10, which obviously we didn't get. However, once we found out that there would be a lot of old locations returning, it still had a lot of people excited. That was until we saw the state they were returning in. We had Retail Row, which was nice to see come back. It's just a shame that they ruined it with the zombies. And then Moisty finally returned. But again, they'd ruined it by making it so you couldn't crouch without turning into an object. And sure, this was kind of funny initially, but absolutely nobody was asking for this, and it had no place being a part of the map. And then we had the fabled return of Greasy Grove, a place we've been eagerly waiting for it to come back ever since it was frozen over in Season 7. But again, they completely ruined it by adding taco time, which meant that every few seconds we would randomly start dancing, which was really disruptive and annoying. I'm not sure if this is a popular opinion, but I do think this is the worst the map has ever been. Tilted Town and Gotham were both fairly popular, but they weren't enough to save the map. And I think this is a big reason why a lot of people weren't enjoying Season 10 as much. In fact, I've never seen so few people playing Fortnite. Back in the early days, I would see almost everyone on my friends list playing Fortnite. But now, a lot of them have left to play other games, like Minecraft, Apex, and FIFA. Simply due to the fact that the core Battle Royale experience had become way too frustrating for many. As I'm sure most of you will be aware, I host customs on a Sunday, and I had so many people asking for me to host more throughout the week. As for many, the game had become unplayable. I myself had barely played throughout the week during Season 10, or if I did, it was mainly Team Rumble, to relax and do challenges. I miss the old days where I would look forward to playing Fortnite. But now, unless I'm playing customs, it's rare that I'll feel like playing. This decrease in interest in Fortnite is showcased by the relatively low Twitch viewership compared to early seasons. Granted, it was still generally the highest viewed game, but it was getting much fewer viewers than it used to. Before, it could be any time of day, regardless of who was streaming, and Fortnite would be the top viewed game. But now, Fortnite can be commonly found between 2nd and 4th, depending on if Tfue or Nick Mercs or a couple others are streaming, especially since Ninja left Twitch for Mixer. So now that we've covered the main points about Season X, let's take a look at some of the other contenders for worst season ever, so we can see if they're even worse than Season 10. And let's start with Season 5. Now Season 5 was the first time that I saw majorly widespread discontent from the Fortnite player base. And the main reason for this was due to the spam meta at the time. Due to builds being weakened significantly, and the drum gun and P90 being at the strongest, it made engagements a horrible spammy mess, which wasn't enjoyable at all. Having played all the way since Season 1, Season 5 was the first time that I had to take a break from the game, as the spam meta made the game almost unplayable for me. But Epic did manage to fix it after a week or two, so because of that, I'd have to say that Season X has definitely been worse than Season 5. We then get to Season 6, which was another mixed bag, with the zombies that came with the Fortnitemares event ruining the game for a lot of people, including myself. They did reduce the amount of zombies spawning, which definitely helped, but they still remained incredibly annoying. Thankfully though, Fortnitemares only lasted a couple weeks, so the rest of the season wasn't nearly as bad as that. So once again, I'd have to say that Season X was worse. And then we get to Season 7, which has for quite a while held the title as worst season yet for a lot of people. And for me, Season 7 was a complete disaster. And the main reason for that is the planes. I've never had a more unenjoyable experience than when I would be fighting someone at the top of a mountain or tall building. I'd win the fight, only for a plane to come by and ram me off the cliff. Season 7 was painful. Yeah, they nerfed the planes a fair bit, so they weren't quite as bad, but I was still never a fan of them, especially with Epic never removing the turrets. Then Epic also decided in Season 7 to introduce the Infinity Blade, which completely turned the game upside down during its time in Fortnite. I only played one game whilst the Infinity Blade was in Fortnite, as I quickly saw how horrible it was having it in the game, but thankfully Epic were fairly quick to remove it, with it vaulted within a week. So for me, trying to decide which was the worst season was pretty tough for me, as I really didn't enjoy either as much as I wanted to. But in the end, I've had to give it to Season X, because if I wasn't making videos on Fortnite this season, I might have quit playing altogether, which says a lot considering I've loved pretty much every season so far. So although Season 10 has been a bit of a disaster, Season 11 will hopefully be a lot better, with us finally getting a brand new map, which a lot of people have been begging for a long time now. As long as they don't add any more stupidly broken items or weapons, and finally make Arena worth playing, Season 11 could be the start of a brand new golden era of Fortnite. And that's something that I'm sure we're all desperately hoping for, as we all want the game to succeed. So, what did you think of Season X? Would you say it was the worst season? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, if you want to support me as a content creator, then feel free to use my creator code, which is on the screen now. So anytime you buy something in the item shop and use my code, it will go directly towards supporting the channel, which would be greatly appreciated. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time for another video. Goodbye.